With all fractions questions, start by changing any mixed fractions to improper. So 2 1/4 is 9/4. 3 5/6 is 18/23/6. Then for all addition and subtraction, we cross multiply. And we straight multiply for the denominator. Do the addition or subtraction. And then the calculator will always be able to simplify that for us. So 146/24 is 73/12. If we press Shift SD, it converts it to 6 1/12 as expected. So the subtraction works the same way. Change to improper, so we get 17/4, subtract 5/3. Cross multiply, straight multiply, and then do the calculation. 51 subtract 20 is 31/12. Shift SD. Converts it to 2 7/12. Multiplication, so make it improper. 9/5 multiplied by 10/7. Then straight multiply this time. Straight multiply. And the calculator will cancel that down to 18/7, or Shift SD to 2 4/7. So make them top heavy. 7/3 divided by 4/3. We can't divide, so we keep the first fraction as it is and turn the second fraction upside down and then multiply. So 7 multiplied by 3 is 21. Oh, hang on, I've changed the numbers. That should be a 3. And 3 multiplied by 4 is 12. Calculator can cancel it down to 7/4. Shift SD changes it to 1 3/4. Negative indices means I'm going to have 1 over, and then I've got 2 to the power 1. 2 to the power 1 is just 2. Negative indices means I've got 1 over. Then the fraction, the denominator is 3, so I want the third root of 64. And then last thing, I'm going to square my answer. So I've got 1 over, cube root of 64 is 4, which I'm then going to square. 4 squared is 16, so I've got 1 over 16. If I've got a fraction, I just apply to both numerator and denominator, so I'm going to end up with 8 squared over 5 squared. 8 squared is 64, 5 squared is 25. Could change that to a mixed fraction. Shift SD is 2 14/25. Negative power, so I'm going to turn the fraction upside down, so it's 5/27 to the power 1/3. Power 1/3 means I want the cube root of both numbers, so the cube root of 512 and the cube root of 27. Cube root of 512 is 8. Cube root of 27 is 3. Could write it as a mixed fraction. Shift SD is 2 2/3. 11% means 11 out of 100. Of is multiply 1460. Gives me 160.6, and we were talking about millimeters. This is like a test score where we've got 2,867.2 out of 89,600. So putting it in as a fraction gives me 4/125. Multiplying by 100 and pressing SD tells me it's 3.2%. I've got a quantity so that when we have 73%, 73 over 100, the answer is 178.12. Opposite of multiply is divide. So the original number must have been 244, and we were talking minutes. When we increase, we always add on our percentage to 100. So I've got £471, 105.4% is over 100. So 471 gives me 496.434, but this is a money question, so I round to 2 decimal places. The actual change from 31,700 to 12,046 is 19,654. And we want to express this as a percentage, this number we've got, compared to the original. So as a fraction we get 31 out of 50. When we multiply by 100, the calculator will tell us it as a percentage, 62%. A reduction means we're going to do 100% subtract that percent. So 100 subtract 20 is 80. So we're talking about 80%. We had £80,900, and this reduction goes on for 5 years. Leaves us with 26509.312. Again, we're dealing with money, so we'll go with the first 2 decimal places. We've had a reduction, so 100 subtract 35 is 65%. We don't know its original price, but we know it ended up at 520. Opposite of multiply is divide. So the price was £800. Bounds with decimals is easy. The upper bound is just the number with an extra 5 at the end. The lower bound is the number with 1 off the last digit and then a 5 on the end. If we need to do a calculation for each of our values, we need to find the upper and lower bounds. And then in a division, to get the lowest possible value, we want to start with a low number and divide it by a large number. So 8.15 divided by 1.45. So the exact answer is 163 over 29. If we press SD, we can get it as a decimal. Which is 5.62 to 3 significant figures.